Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm enjoying my day today. It's a very rainy day outside, perfect for sitting inside and chatting about makeup. Today is going to be a little bit of a declutter. Usually I bring you guys through my collection and you get to see me going through all my stuff. I didn't really have time for that today, but the more I went through my collection and just pulled things out, the more things I found. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought I only have a few things for this video, and I have quite a few. So the things that are too old, things that have gone off, those unfortunately will have to go in the garbage, whereas most of these items I can give to friends. One or two of these things I might even sell. I haven't decided yet. So let's begin with lip products. So this pretty product from Nudestix. This is what they call the Magnetic Plush Paint. I have the shade Saint Tropez, and I actually really enjoy this product. It's kind of a soft matte, like lip cream. Unfortunately, it has gone off. Yeah, I tasted it on my lips, unfortunately. Like the last time I put it on, I was like, oh, I had to go take it off. It's sad when that happens with lip products, but when you have a lot of stuff, it does happen from time to time. So that's going in the too old to give away pile from Dose of Color. So this is so pretty, and I have been resisting getting rid of it for so long, but it's actually been too old in my collection. For a while, I've been to a point where every time I go to reach for it, I'm always like, I don't know, that's pretty old. So even though it's not stinking, it's still too old for me at this point to use and feel comfortable. See, it even smells fine, but yes, all I can think about is how old it is. I've had it for a few years. And with glosses, that really starts to get gross to me. This is the shade Almond Butter. Just kills me because it's such a waste of money, but this one's gonna have to go too. Something that is just fine, but I'm deciding to pass along to someone is this product from NARS. So this just recently came into my collection. This is one of the Velvet Matte Lip Pencils. This is the shade Dolce Vita, which I like this shade, but it's not a shade that I wear very often. And I have another product that is very similar in shade to it already that I don't reach for very often, you know, just because of the color. I really don't need two of this color. So while that's still pretty much new in my collection, I'm gonna give that to someone. Then we come to these two glosses from Youthforia. So both of these actually have a little bit of glitter in the formula that I can feel on my lips. And they were kind enough to send me a very generous package. I think it was 2 years ago. That's where I got these, but I do resist wearing them because of the glitter thing. And because of that, I tend to never reach for them. So I have the shades Coral Fixation and 3 AM. Here's Coral Fixation and 3 AM. It may not be easy to see, but they both have little glitter particles in there that are bugging me. So I'm gonna get rid of these. But on the subject of Youthforia, this is a brand that has made a lot of people upset recently. I'm not very up to date on a drama that's going on with this brand, but I keep seeing it pop up. And at this point, I'm ready to take a step back from the brand. I'm also going to give this to someone. There's nothing wrong with this. This is their blush oil. It's pH changing. All you need is a couple drops. And it's a very dewy finish, of course, since it's an oil. Right now it's clear, but eventually it will turn that very bright pop of pink. Like I said, I'm not completely up to date on what's going on with this brand and why people are so upset. But from what I can tell, people are rightfully upset from a little bit that I've seen. So I'm just gonna take a step back from this brand. I really do appreciate them sending me these items to try a while back, but I'm just gonna give this one to a friend. Okay, let's talk about some cream eyeshadows. So these are some cream eyeshadows I've been holding onto for years from Ulta because the shades are so pretty and honestly, the formula is beautiful. They are just so pigmented. I never ever reach for them. And I've decided at this point they are too old. I should get rid of them, and this just kills me because these are products that I really do like, but they just really intimidated me. So from Ulta, this is the matte cream eyeshadow. First of all, I have the shade Vintage Beauty. These are starting to separate a little bit like the oils, so that's why I decided it was time. So that's the shade Vintage Beauty. I use the tiniest bit, and you can see how much that spread. It just was difficult for me to use a product like this. And then my favorite shade is the shade Game Over, which was a little bit more of a neutral shade, but still not warm at all. But I think Ulta still has these. They're matte. They don't crackle on your eyelids. They're beautiful bases for other eyeshadows. In fact, I think they even call these primer infused. Yeah, primer infused and waterproof. And a little bit goes a long way. So, you know, if you're looking for something like this, I think that you would enjoy these. Just know that if you're more into like the ones from Glossier or from Rimmel, these are just so much more pigmented that in my opinion they're, you know, intimidating to work with. The ones from Rimmel that I love so much, I decluttered a while back because they all went bad, and I've been refraining from buying anymore because I had these in my collection. Well, now I might let myself buy them again because I'm missing having those in my collection. So there's nothing wrong with this. I can't wait to give this to someone. This will make a beautiful gift. So this is a cream shadow from Charlotte Tilbury. This was a gift from a subscriber. She sent me several shades of these, but I've decided that I have a lot of other shades like this, so I'm going to give this one to a friend. This is the shade Amber Gold. If you've never tried the Eyes to Mesmerize formula from Charlotte Tilbury, it's very lovely. It is a whipped formula. You don't need very much, and they just lay super, super beautifully on the lids. You see, I got way too much product there. But I just have a lot of shadows that are this shade, and I know that when I'm reaching for a Charlotte Tilbury shade, I probably am not going to reach for this one. Hence my decision to give it to someone. And for the same reason, from Victoria Beckham, this shade Honey is not my favorite of the shades that I have. It's a little bit more dry in formula, and I just know that I am probably not going to use this much at all. So I would much rather give this beautiful, beautiful shadow with its just absolutely beautiful like tortoiseshell packaging to someone else who will use it. Okay, I actually have some highlighters. This one I think is not the same as it used to be. So it's from Sydney Grace. This is one of their loose highlighters. This is the shade Candied Peach. Did I say loose highlighter? It's a loose highlighter in the shade Candied Peach. I feel like the texture is not the same as it was. And when I swatch it out on my hand here, it still looks beautiful. But to me, it's just not the same as it was. So I think I'm ready to be done with this product. This next one breaks my heart because this is so pretty. But every time I try this, I really don't think it flatters my complexion. So this is the shade Beaming Blush and the Extra Dimension Skinfinish. This has the most beautiful pattern there on the top. And I just love a beautiful kind of gelée formula like this. The baked gelée, I think is what they call this. But this is the shade that has like a light lilac purple base to it, but is mostly gold. In fact, when I wear it, you don't see the purple really at all. You just see that gold, and I just don't like that particular tone of gold. I keep trying it. There are times when I feel like I pull it off, but it's just not my favorite. And in this season of my life where I keep trying highlighters because I'm into highlighters, I really don't need to keep one that I'm just so about. So I know I have a friend that will love to try this. I'm also going to pass along this one from Clinique. So this is the Powder Pop Flower Highlighter in the shade Lunar Pop. This is another beautiful kind of baked formula. So this one, again, I go back and forth on. Sometimes it looks stunning on my cheeks. It is more of a natural highlight. It's not too glowy, but there have been a few times where I felt like it looked powdery and sitting on top of my skin. It was kind of thick and powdery, which, you know, I wasn't a big fan of. And it holds me back from using it. Like, is it gonna look good today? Or is it gonna be one of those days where I have to try and fix that? It could just be that my skin is a little bit more dry than it used to be, and not all powders are gonna work for me. So this one I'm gonna pass along. I know someone will love this because it is pretty. Okay, I have one face palette. I am going to pass along my Benefit Cheek Stars palette. So this is the Reunion Tour palette. I cannot get over the scent of this palette. You know, I have Benefit blushes that have that very slight scent to them. There's something about this palette, I felt like they must have doused it in perfume, and it's not a scent I enjoy. And it actually keeps me from using it, which is a shame because I like the shade Dallas in here, and I really like the highlighter, which is the shade Cookie. But I heard someone else say that they really enjoy the scent of Benefit blushes, and I instantly was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna give this away to someone who enjoys the scent. It takes up a lot of space in my drawer, and if I'm not gonna be using it that often because the scent bothers me, I might as well just give it to someone. That actually feels like a really good decision. Before I give it to them, I'm gonna take some tape and get the hard pan off of the shade Georgia here. So it'll be nice and as new as possible for them. Okay, so now I have some palettes that I think are going to surprise a number of you, but I'm trying to be honest with myself here. Especially as my collection grows, I really just want to keep things that I want to reach for, not things that I kind of have to make myself use. So I am going to pass along my California Coast palette from Sydney Grace. This is beautiful. You guys know that I love the Sydney Grace formula, and there are certain shades in here that I really enjoy. But compared to what I thought it was, this is very different from, you know, what I thought I was buying. This shade, Butterfly Beach, when you look at it, it looks like the perfect kind of slightly cool leaning crease shade, but unfortunately it's actually a gray toned purple. Look at that. It doesn't look at all like the shadow. There's the shade, and that's what it looks like on me, which I actually don't mind shades like that. I often really enjoy a shade like that, but to me, it really kind of throws off the whole palette that it does not, for me, go with these other shades. And a number of these shades, namely these two, are so warm toned that I, like, these pull very red on my eyelids and it makes me look quite sick. They're not shades that work for me. The rest of the shades in here are fine, and I was tempted to just pull out those shades and take shades from my collection to make this a perfect palette for me, but I feel like I would rather just give someone this complete palette because I know that this palette is perfect for a lot of people and the formula is divine. I'm always happy to give Sydney Grace to other people so that they can experience it, so that's what I'm gonna do. It really does hurt my heart a little bit every time I don't keep something from Sydney Grace because they're one of my favorite brands, but again, trying to be honest with myself, so hopefully this will bring joy to someone's day. Now this last item is the item that I'm not sure if I want to sell or if I just want to give it away. I don't know if I even want to go through the hassle of selling makeup. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if I want to do it. But I have decided that I don't need to keep my Pat McGrath Mothership 2. This is the Sublime palette, and this was new to my collection this year. I actually purchased it from a subscriber. She'd only used it a couple times. And I find that I can get good looks with this one. But this is a palette that I struggle to like put the colors together. And for that reason, it took me forever to test it. I felt like I was using each shade individually as a single eyeshadow look, which that actually turned out very pretty as well. But I don't like to keep palettes where if I look at it, I don't know what to do with it, which shades to go together. And initially when I look at it, I feel like I shouldn't have that problem with this palette, but I do. And that's a shame I feel that way because this is, you know, a very nice, expensive palette. So I've decided I don't need to keep this one. I probably will end up giving it to someone because I don't want to go through the hassle of selling it. So there we have it. Those are all the items I am going to be either tossing or giving away to others. It always feels so good to do this and to clear out all the extra things I don't need. Thank you so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. This is where I talk about my tea of the day. Today I am drinking a black tea from Tea Viver. These are black dragon pearls. These are tea leaves that have been rolled into a little ball so that when they steep, they unfurl and release all the flavor. These ones have a very kind of distinctive cocoa taste to them. It's wonderful. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!